That's a special race. I mean, you've got 100k on the flat before it, which can be windy, and then the cobbles start, and it's like, 25 sections of cobbles. If the weather's wet, the race can be over on the first section of cobbles. It's rough, like you will not believe.
How bad is the Arnberg Forest?
It is the roughest road you could ever imagine riding a bike over. A vast majority of the peloton want the Arnberg Forest taken out because it is just too dangerous. We've had a lot of opportunities. We haven't nailed a big one in the classics. Been close. Obviously Heinrich is in fine form. Tor also. Tor won Het Volk in fantastic fashion. And then you've got, the 5 or 6 other riders who are all on the same level.
You don't grip the handlebars. The vibration with your hand takes it like this. It just bounces off the bars.
We've all got roles to play, and we've been going about them perfectly up till now, and it could be a pretty huge week.
One thing about this race is, you're hitting the most extreme conditions you ever hit in a race. So what you have to be is 100% confident of, firstly, your ability, and secondly, more importantly, your equipment. So what we're doing today is spending, a good few hours testing stuff, changing tyre pressures. Tyre pressures is the difference between winning and losing Roubaix. The bikes are unbelievable. I've never ridden on a bike like this on cobbles before. Really. I don't know how I raced Roubaix before without it. It's exceptional. They've surprised me again. They surprised me with the S2, and now they surprised me again with this one.
This is our least expensive carbon frame, so it's a stock RS frame. The only thing is the brake bridge is a little bit higher, so we have nice tire clearance with the long reach brakes. Zip 202 stock wheels. Victoria extra big pavé tires, 27 millimeters, so they can run with very little pressure in it. Speed plate pedals, just stock stuff. Physique saddle.
They are comfortable. They are at the limit that you say it's not possible to get a better bike. Not because I'm riding in this team, but it is the perfect bikes.
You don't really believe that a bike, or the zip wheels and the tyres, what a difference that really does make. And that's also why the team's going good too, I think, because we've also got that little bit of an advantage over the other teams.
Of course, a lot of people have seen the racing side of it and seen if we have 4 podium places in the first 3 classics. And of course, a great win by Tor and Omloop at Volk, and Heinrich Hausel with a couple of stage wins. So the racing side, I think, is going pretty well. What people maybe don't see as much is that on the product development side, we've been doing tons and tons of stuff together with Zip, Cat-like, Rotor. The third part of what we try to do is the fan access. So we took some fans, and last week we rode at Tour of Flanders, and this week, riding on the cobblestones with the exact team replicas, dinner with the riders, just all those sorts of things that we can offer now that we have the team is, it's fantastic.
Or northwest of minutes.
We go slightly northwest.
Yeah. Khrushchev? Is this 2 numbers?
Clear.
For tomorrow's race, first of all, I want to put the big lines out. So we have 3 protected riders. Tour Hursoft, Roger Hammond, Heinrich Hausel, who say, I want to go from the start. I want to go in the breakaways. Okay. Andreas, Jeremy?
This weather conditions, we're riding 37 per hour average.
Break will go a long way.
38 per hour average in the finish line. If you have 4 minutes before the pavé starts, then we can help the guys who are coming. Maybe we should put 3 in the beginning to jump.
Okay.
Jump 2.
3. Andreas, the captain. But Roger, if something, you're the specialist for this race, so you bring in your advice, yeah?
Well, I think the most important thing we have to do is to hide as much as possible in a headwind race. If you try and take on the Tom Boonen, for example, pedal rev for pedal rev, I think you're going to find it difficult. So that's why your information is very important. The length of the sector of cobbles and the slight different angle it is on the wind direction is also important. Okay. For example, there's absolutely no point in accelerating for sector 7, where it's only 200 meters long.
You fight for the longer
There's a couple of sectors that are very obviously the Arenberg and Carrefour de l'Arbre.
What do you want us to do into the Arenberg? Ride like a team, or
It's a big sprint.
It's a big sprint. You
we
need to
ride
get
like a bunch
To
of
get
people?
in, but if
Or
you make a really lead out, then all the persons who are riding,
That's fucked up.
so we just
so
hide.
you have to make sure that everybody is there. We do it smart.
When I was third, I did nothing on the front. I didn't touch the wind until 10 k's to go. Arenberg, of course, it's better to go in first. If we went in first 5 guys, it's the only sector where I think you're actually better off going in first man. The other thing, Tor, you have to say the tactic, because you know we're only strong because we have a few strong riders.
I think that's our strength, that we're so strong together.
Yeah.
And we have to try to be more people in front than Quick Step on the other teams.
Yeah.
And that's the way we can win, because we're gonna attack and then they have to ride.
Yeah.
Donc l'équipe Cervelo avec Rochaman, Rosner, Hunt, Usand, Clear, Lancaster, Rash et Rulston.
And we have always the most numbers in the group was left over. In 20 we had 6. That was a moment of the race we thought really that we had it in our hands.
From all the classics, I would say I had the best legs, better than San Remo and Flanders. But I just stuffed it up in the moment where Bonin attacked. Luckily, Tor was there.
And he had a bad crash last week. It was not even his own fault, and he hurt his hand pretty badly. He forgot the pain today, and just thought about that dream that he had to win this race. 2 best guys came in front.
I mean, he was up there with Bonin. 50-50. He could have won it.
So you're at the velodrome waiting for the riders to get here. Hopefully, Shock is first. Who are you guys supporting? Who you
See that coming? Yeah. Pretty full in his hand again as well. Yeah. Hushoff crashed, so now Bonin is in front alone, followed by Pozzato in a group of 3, including von Summeren, Hoste, and Hushoff. So, and behind that is a group of 2, which is Chavanel and Hausler. So 2 in the top 7, but Bonin seems to be able to hold the advantage that he got after a succession of crashes of basically everybody else in that group. So.
Where are we right now?
I think we're about 8 kilometers from the finish. So it's probably a done deal at this point. That's so smooth. 3rd, 7th. Good day at the office.
Paris-Roubaix is something that's a dream from a lot of riders, you know, to get here as first into this velodrome or get first over the finish line. And Tour was dreaming of this thing. It was his dream in November. He spoke about this is his main target. And we just missed it by little in Milan-San Remo. And today, yeah, unfortunately, with the corner. But yeah, that's all in the game. That's Paris-Roubaix.
Really good bikes.
Thank you.
And they were really good on the cobbles.
We try.
Yeah, really. I never feel that comfortable on the cobbles.
Thanks for everything, Tor. It's too bad for Tor maybe today. He really had a good shot at winning the race and then coming 3rd after that crash. But on the other hand, although he's very disappointed, I think it's also good for him to see that, hey, now he knows he can win this race and he still has 5 years to do that. So, and yeah, I hope we'll be together for those 5 years to try and do that. Well, it's dirty because it's Tor Hushov's bike. And I asked him to keep it clean, but he didn't listen very well. So we're just going to retire this to our museum. You know, 3rd place, but really gutsy race, and so it's a nice one to keep for the ages and keep dirty.
The years before, when I done Roubaix, I couldn't even move my fingers like this. Just being so much pain, and like the arms are up here. But this year, because of the bikes, I don't want any other teams riding Cervelo bikes. because then they'll have the advantage that we have. It's just all a good group. Like it all fits together. Like I don't think you have that in other teams. Because there's like a lot of riders, they're big egos. But I mean, like a guy like Tor, I mean, he's just super, like, down to earth.
What's so special about this team?
Yeah, I mean, we're always looking for the best bikes or the best equipment. So,
Everybody does.
yeah, everybody does, but I think this team, and especially Cervelo, they spend first a lot of money of researching and with aerodynamics and that stuff. It's 2 engineers who build the bikes and always work on this. And on other brands, you don't have this. So I think all these things, small details, and they work on details all the way.
Because winning a race is all about details.
Yeah, of course, but on the other way, we're also a good group. So we have all this setup, it's perfect, and we have a good group who works good together, and we're just having fun out there. That's really important as well.
Is that the main thing, having fun on the bike?
Yeah, definitely. Like cycling or racing, this year is definitely a lot more fun than the years before.
Yeah.
And when it's more fun and you've got a good group of guys together, I think you automatically ride better. The classics are over now, so it's always going to be different now. It's going to be more mixed, like with the hill climbers and the guys for the big tours. Yeah, I don't think we'll be riding this formation again till next year.